Here's today's agenda for the workshop number 2 about Interwiki. We'll do a short recap, then we'll go through the interface of the project of any MediaWiki projects, things that are in commons. We'll lengthily show Wikidata items, especially giving our attention to Interwiki. So the links between the different sister projects of Wikimedia Foundation. Then we'll have a look at the template into English Wikipedia, how it uses Wikidata information, and then we'll have an introduction into a segue to the workshop part of workshop part of the workshop. I don't know if I can use it. The second part of this workshop. So more or less half of the workshop, for 45 minutes, will be about theoretical content, and then we will give you homework, so things to do in the next half of the workshop. So first of all, I'll just want to show you something here, the Wikipedia iceberg metaphor. As you probably can guess, there is a lot of information that is behind or below what we see of all the projects. So you can think of Wikipedia, just the encyclopedia to start with. So we are familiar with articles of what we see, but there are many things below or behind it, references, files, user, Wikidata being one of them. And you can see the template here on the below the sea on the right. And there's the Sun Commons that is accessible for everything there. So I think that's quite a good metaphor. I'll show you the different Wikimedia Foundation projects. So here you go. It's pretty big. Okay, Wikimedia Foundation has been created a couple of years after the creation of Wikipedia, basically to take care of the infrastructure behind it. Since Wikipedia was growing a lot, it needed something to manage it. So we will concentrate today on 2 projects. The one you're more familiar with at 11 o'clock, you probably recognize the Wikipedia logo. And the other one is Wikidata, which is like at 5:30 or not really 6. It looks like a barcode. And this is Wiki in Morse, for those who were wondering. This is the other project that we are looking into it. And another one, usually in the other workshops, we are also speaking of Commons, which is just on the left of Wikipedia logo, the one with the arrow with the red circle and at the center of it, which is where all the files, pictures are located and accessible through all the other projects. In every interface of any project, Wikidata or Wikipedia, you have commons things. So on the top right, you have create account. This is where you'll have to go when you want to create an account for those who doesn't have one already. And you have login. So I'll log into my workshop account, which is Anteater 2021. It's already outdated. There you go. And now you can see that you can see my username, discussion, bell, and everything. So I'm in French. Let's switch it to English, and it will look like the one you will have once you are logged on. I want to show you one thing that every page has. Since it's a wiki, everyone can edit the pages, but there's a way of viewing every modification that has been done to a page, and it's by looking at the history. So when I click there, I see all the history of the current page, and I can do that on every page. Let's look at the tiger page on Wikipedia in English. So do you see the tiger here? Do you?
Yes, we see the tiger, Miguel.
So, see, there's a view history here. When I click on that, I see all the modification that has been done to the tiger article. And you see, the last one were yesterday and 2 days before. So it's pretty active. And when you want to see what has been done, what were the modifications, you have radio button here. So the last two commit or modification that has been selected. So let's say that I have the username of the person that did it. Let's say that I want to see what little Jerry did on January 4th. Then I click on compare selected revision. And what did he do? I see that he added an image of a tiger BM and other text here. So all that to say that, and you can click on article, and then you're back on the article. So since it's a wiki, the main purpose is to so everyone can update and modify it, but you can access and see everything and who did what. Let's go back to, and you can see here that this is Dirac. So basically it's the modification that I did to our agenda and the date of it. But let's go back to the agenda. View history, compare selected revision, contribution. Once you have registered user, you are often wondering, what did I do, or where are the items or article I modified? Let me show you something very useful here. Just on the upper right, you have at the left of logout, you have a thing that is called contribution. When you click on it, you see all your contributions in the selected project. So now I'm in Wikidata. Okay. When I click contribution, I see the contribution that I did. So a little bit later, you'll be modifying Wikipedia articles and Wikidata items. So if you're lost somewhere and are wondering where were those modifications, then you can just click on contributions and you'll see the contributions of your user. Like you see, the last one I did with that one was Sonia Cotton on November 9. And this is something you have everywhere. Let's reload here and see. Okay, let me log into and one.
And while Miguel is reloading, as a user, I find it quite useful to know who's making edits to a Wikidata item, and especially if it's one item that I created myself or that I regularly look at, and that way I also have a possibility of thanking people who are actually contributing to the item, which is a cool feature of Wikidata.
Oui, merci Frédéric. Here's the same, and you can see on Wikipedia English, I did no contribution now, so more or less be like this when you'll start. Okay, so let's look now at the standard Wikidata item. In every page, in every almost every Wikipedia article, you have a Wikidata link, and this is what we will explore today. It's often hard to find it, so that's why I do a Control F to find it. On the left of every Wikipedia article, in the menu here, you have a subsection called Tools. The last one will lead you to the Wikidata item related to this article. Wikipedia is more free-form wiki where you can add sentences, create sections. So it's more or less the authors decide what type of content to add in which form. A Wikidata item, it's not really the same thing. It's more like a library cards. The entry are more or less standardized. So first of all, here, Tiger, you have the, this is the entry, the item of the tiger in Wikidata. And you can see that it is identified by a number and not by a string. So this number have many label in different language. So it's tiger in English, but it's tigre in French. So this is the first part where the layout or the word corresponding to this item is entered. The first statement. So, and they are below that, they are what we call statements, which is basically the information that we had to an item. The first one being it's an instance of what are we looking at exactly. So animal are called taxon, which is a little bit weird, but basically it's when we can look at what a taxon is, it's also another entry. It's a group of or one of more organisms, which taxonomists adjust to be a unit, which is what a tiger is. So you have the label, but you also have a description, which is really useful, as we can see right now, for every item in Wikidata. So it's a species of big cat for them, like that. And today is about the fact that there's a lot of statements, warning, everything. But today we want to look at one thing that we call, let me look at my agenda where we are. Standard, at the bottom of every of items, there is what we call interlinks. So basically it's what bring all the entries of different projects of Wikimedia together. So Tiger here, they are what we call Wikipedia entries. So there are 183 languages with an article about Tiger, and this is where they are linked together. So when we look at the Tiger in English, let's look again. Here on the left, we have languages. See, the first 10 are displayed, and there are 173 more. The link of those, where those links are coming from is Wikidata. So when I click on French, I'll go on Tigre. It is because here, for FR, it's written Tigre. So if I update that, and I'll do that right away to show you one example, the Tigre link will be updated. So Frédéric have identified one article to update. So salle de spectacle in French. And if I look at the Wikidata item, don't even, again, it's in the left. So it is linked to event venue, and Frédéric indicated that it should be linked not to event venue, but to performing art buildings. So as you can see, when I did click on Wikidata item to salle de spectacle, I went to event venue, but I want to change that to link to performing art building. So the first thing that I'll do at the bottom of event venue, there's only 3 entries, and
you cannot do it because the item is protected, as you can see at the top right.
No. See here,
I'm
There's a lot.
I'm pretty surprised because I've seen the lock on every item you visit since the beginning of the workshop.
Ooh. Is it my user that is locked? So let's try another user.
That's what I think, Miguel. If this is a new account that you created for the sake of your workshops, and it's not a self-confirmed account with 50 edits and more, you'll be prevented from making these kinds of edits.
So let's use another more powerful user. It's okay if you don't have this power to start with, because what I'm doing right now, this is for educational purposes and not something that you will be asked to do later. So event venue, what I want to do, I want to erase the link that goes from salle de spectacle to event venue. So I have to go at the Wikidata item at the bottom, and then I edit the salle de spectacle and I thrash it, boom, and then I publish. I have to create another link to this salle de spectacle. So I go into the other one where I want to create a link between languages at the bottom. Oh, Wikipedia, there's no entry. Okay, I'm still with my old user. Let's refresh the page. And there's nothing for Wikipedia, so I click edit. Here it's the letter for the language. It's in French, so it's FR. And then the page, there's a neat features in Wikidata. It's when you start typing, it searches and gives you suggestions. Salle de spectacle. There you go. Boom. I do publish, and let's see if this is working. Hopefully. This now the Wikipedia article is linked to this new Wikidata item. This is so Wikipedia are linked like that, but there are other Wikimedia projects like Wikinews. Yes, there's a topic about tiger in Wikinews. Wikiquote in different languages. So if you want quotes about tigers in English, how do you think a tiger knows how to tackle a gazelle? This is where they are all linked together. Wikivoyage, amazing. This is where all the links are are written now. So that's what we call interwiki.